Hello and welcome to the News at 5. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for joining us. Vice President Shettima has been showcasing Nigeria's $200 billion energy transition opportunity to investors, emphasizing the need for partnerships to maximize the multifaceted, multi-billion investment opportunities across the country. The Vice President stated this at a roundtable hosted by the Business Council for International Understanding, which took place on the sidelines of the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York in the U.S. Earlier in the day, the Vice President joined other world leaders for a short ceremony to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the United Nations. Our State House correspondent, Larry Lasisi, who is in New York, has the report on these and other activities for the day.
This special gathering taking place in the United Nations headquarters is a ceremony to mark the 80th anniversary of the United Nations. Vice President Shettima joined other heads of government for a short ceremony to commemorate the event. He was accompanied by some ministers and aides. United Nations Secretary General, giving the opening remarks of the occasion, emphasized the ever-present need for the founding principles of the Union.
To meet these challenges, we must not only defend the United Nations, we must strengthen it. And that is the purpose of Agenda 2030, the Pact for the Future and the UN80 initiative, to renew the foundations of international cooperation and to ensure that we can deliver for people everywhere.
Afterwards, the Vice President represented President Bola Tinubu at a roundtable organized by the Business Council for International Understanding, which took place on the margins of the United Nations General Assembly.
I want you to continue believing in Nigeria because the trajectory of global growth is facing Africa, and Nigeria will make or mar that transition. Of the 10 unicorns in Africa, about 8 are in Nigeria. Name some of them for me: Andela, Plateau, Money Point, Jumia, Ope. That's where the action is. Why do you have to go and waste your resources? Come to Nigeria. Our doors are open for business. We are ready for action.
Other events took place on the sidelines too. At one of such meetings, the Minister of Environment spoke on the need for investments to ensure forest landscape restoration.
Policy is going to address 3 main issues. Number 1 is trying to reduce deforestation, and secondly is going to actually assist in the health of our rural women particularly. And at the same time, we're going to build business around that, because many people are now being encouraged to go into the production of cooking stuff.
A very busy day for the Nigerian delegation on the first day of what will be a very, very busy week. And it's only going to get busier. For Tuesday, it's going to turn out to be the first day for the General Assembly and to hear world leaders speak. And would be expecting more meetings will also be happening. From New York, Larry Lasisi, Channels Television News.
Back in Nigeria, the Sergeant at Arms has unsealed Senator Natasha Akpotiuduaghan's office at the Senate wing of the National Assembly. Following that development, Senator Natasha made her way to the National Assembly alongside a crowd of supporters. And settled down in her office, the move effectively restores her access to the National Assembly complex, paving the way for her anticipated resumption of legislative duty. This also comes after the clerk to the National Assembly wrote her through the acting clerk to the National Assembly, notifying her that her 6-month suspension subsists until the Court of Appeal delivers judgment in the suit she instituted against the Senate. Senator Akwote Dahan, formerly chair of the Senate Committee on Diaspora and NGOs, was suspended for 6 months in March 2025 during the time she was barred from all activities of the 10th Senate.
Sometimes it's good. We can't cow down in the face of injustice. No one is more Nigerian than us. Senator Fabio is not more of a senator than I am. He's not a governor of this place. And he treated me as if I was his servant or I was a domestic staff in his house. It's very unfortunate that at this time, after so many years of democracy, we would have a National Assembly be run by such dictatorship. It's totally unacceptable. As for me, I'm glad to be here. And even though we have been illegally suspended, no day have I hesitated in effectively carrying out my duties as a senator of Kogi Central to the very best of my capacity. I have never, no day went by without me looking out for opportunities, either in terms of bringing infrastructure or projects to my people, and even jobs wherever I could, because I didn't want them to suffer, the neglect and the vacuum that was created by this injustice. But I just want to let Nigerians know that the future is bright. We just can't give up our hopes. Our democracy is evolving, and I trust that every day leading into 2027, we will be able to put out actions that will be worthwhile, because patriotically we have a country to save.
The Ogun State Judiciary have announced far-reaching reform in its bail bondsman scheme, unveiling the 2025 bondsman regulations and practice directions aimed at strengthening professionalism, accountability, and transparency in the justice system. Speaking at the second Bondsmen Stakeholders Forum held at the Judiciary Complex at Abeokuta, the Chief Judge of Ogun State, Justice Musumola Dipolu, says the scheme has facilitated the release of about 10,000 defendants on bail since its establishment in 2020. The Chief Judge noted that the scheme had been instrumental in reducing congestion in prisons, curbing corruption in the bail process, and restoring public confidence in the courts.
We have also identified a need for stricter oversight to ensure uniform ethical standards, transparency in operations, and robust risk assessment practices to protect the integrity of our courts and the scheme itself. These challenges are not signs of failure, but markers on the path of growth, highlighting the areas where we must fortify our systems. It is in direct response to these challenges and to ensure the sustainable future of this scheme that we have developed the 2025 Bondsmen Regulations. This enhanced regulatory framework is designed to build upon our initial success by 1, strengthening licensing and oversight, introducing more rigorous criteria for licensing and ongoing compliance checks to ensure only the most reputable and financially sound entities operate.
Survivors of the attack in Bindi Jebu community in Riyom local government of Plateau State are calling for improved security in the area. 2 months ago, armed men invaded that community, killing 27 people in a midnight attack. The victims were then buried in a mass grave amidst tears, and the survivors are urging the federal government to come to their aid.
It's been 2 months since the tragic massacre in Bindi Jebu, but the scars remain fresh. Homes and farmlands are destroyed, children are out of school, and many families still languish in internally displaced persons camps. The pain is personal for community leaders who lost loved ones in the attack. For Pastor Devo Musa, the trauma is overwhelming. He says his home was not spared and 9 members of his family were killed that night.
9 people were killed, and even my members that I'm teaching them, about 27 were killed. So I'm not in my sense now. Our people now are in the IDPs camp. Children are not going to school. Our farms have been destroyed. So we are begging, praying for the governor or any NGOs to come to our stand.
The traditional ruler Kim Nani says aside from the brief visit of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, no federal government presence has been felt, leaving them to struggle alone with their pain and loss.
The presidency needs to do better. All the killing on the Plateau, I haven't seen the president presence actively here. And the 27 people that were killed, let me even shock you. The very grave that these 27 people were killed, were buried. They still conveyed their cows down to that very place. Now the question is, these people seem to have an unfinished business here.
Amid the cries for help, the former federal lawmaker, Mr. Dachum Bagos, visited the community. He donated roofing sheets and wood to assist survivors in rebuilding their homes.
Continuous visit will have continuous questions. Where are the people that did this? Lives were killed and blood was shed. Who is in custody because of this? Who is in court because of this? Who has been convicted because of this? Until the justice system take it to the next level, these acts will continue.
For the people of Bindi Jebu, life is far from normal. Their message is clear. They need the presence and intervention of the federal government to restore hope and security in their land.
The Minister of Works, Mr. David Umahi, says some contractors may be handed over to the EFCC if they continue to delay the completion of their jobs. The minister went on a road inspection tour of the Abuja-Lokoja-Okene Highway, said he was disappointed at the slow pace of work, which has adversely affected motorists. Our correspondent, Delia Moyeni, reports.
The Minister of Works is joined by some directors in the ministry and contractors for a tour of the Abuja-Lokoja-Okene Highway. The minister makes several stops on the stretch of the road to inspect the state of the work. The contractors are now using cement as against bitumen for the road construction. At the Okene bypass, the minister expresses disappointment over the slow pace of work.
3 jobs we gave out in 2023, they may be facing the FCC, as we summon them to the office. Their quality good, but the pace is terrible, and that's why we decided to come by ourselves to see this. But we're going to be very hard on ourselves as Ministry of Works, because I think we need to turn a new leaf in terms of pushing these contractors.
He also defends the cost of the projects.
What is the cost of cement? I want you to answer. A cement is costing 9,500. Okay? And 1 meter cubed of concrete is going to be 9 bags. Multiply 9 bags by 9,500. That is only cement. You now check the cost of Y20 rods. Then you check the cost of chippings. You take the cost of laying, sharp sand. You check the fact that we are using cement to stabilize 2 layers, the sub-base and base course. So if you want to learn engineering, you come to the office.
The Minister of Works also gave the contractors the marching orders to ensure that some of these projects are completed for the 3rd year anniversary of President Bola Tinubu. Delia Moyeni, Channels Television News.
The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, is calling on Nigeria to take the lead in Africa to promote child survival and education. UNICEF country representative Mrs. Wafa Said made the appeal during her visit to Kebbi State as the agency strengthens its partnership with Nigeria to address malnutrition and the out-of-school crisis.
The United Nations Children's Fund is committed to deepening its collaboration with Kebbi State, stressing that the state remains one of the key beneficiaries of its interventions in Nigeria. This marks the first official visit of UNICEF country representative Mrs. Wafa Sahid to Kebbi State since assuming office. She pledges that UNICEF will continue to support the state in critical sectors, especially in addressing the challenge of out-of-school children.
And for me, as having worked in other countries, I'm also very much encouraged by the capacities that Nigeria has. I think that is something very, very encouraging. And one of the areas is this area of addressing malnutrition among children. And I really want to commend the state for putting forward 761 million naira to be able to buy supplies for children, both for treatment and both for prevention. Yes.
The Deputy Governor of the state, Umar Tafida, appreciates UNICEF's long-standing support and assures that the state government will continue to sustain its partnership with the agency.
The support of UNICEF, to our people in Kebbi State has been very instrumental in protecting our children, and from preventable diseases, and we recommend your commitment in improving the lives of our people.
As part of our visit, Mrs. Sayed officially launches vaccine cold boxes and other essential supplies donated by UNICEF to the Kebbi Central Medical Store in Benin, Kebbi.
I think what is expected from this support, I would say, to the government here in Kebbi is to really strengthen efforts to immunize children. Immunization is very important. We know that children, when they are immunized, 6 out of the 10 killer diseases of children are addressed. So this is something very important to strengthen the effort to ensure that every child has full immunization coverage.
The visit underscores the joint resolve of UNICEF and the Kebbi State government to continue working together in saving the lives of children across the state.
The Cross River State government has secured the hosting rights for the 2026 African Sub-Sovereign Government Network AFSNet Conference. Speaking up on arrival from Algiers at the Margaret Ekpo International Airport, Governor Basio too explained that the selection was based on the state's reputation for integrity, stability, and good governance.
All we are trying to do is to make sure we grow the economy. We escalate our productivity level. We try to make sure that our food security is guaranteed. We try to make sure that our energy security is guaranteed. We are trying to stem down unemployment. We are looking at trying to build the youth, particularly in this age of digitization. And we've gone far in all this. So very soon, you'll be seeing a lot of unfolding programs, which will dovetail and cascade into what will be the grand finale when we have all these dignitaries that we are expecting down here. We had already started a program which we support the hospitality businesses in, I would say, different senatorial districts of our state, because when they come in, they are not going to be limited to Calabar alone. There will be extension of programs up till the Obudu and the rest of the places.
Welcome to Business News. The Monetary Policy Committee MPC of the Central Bank of Nigeria has cut the benchmark interest rate by 50 basis points to 27%. The committee also reduced the cash reserve ratio, the CRR, for commercial banks to 45%, while introducing a 75% CRR on non-TSA funds. In addition, the MPC adjusts the asymmetric corridor around the monetary policy rate to plus 250 and minus 250 basis points. These measures are aimed at strengthening monetary policy effectiveness and supporting financial system stability. CBN Governor Mr. Olayemi Cardoso says about 14 banks have already met the new regulatory capital requirement, underscoring progress in the banking sector's resilience.
The MPC expressed satisfaction with the prevailing macroeconomic stability, evidenced by the improvements in several indicators. These include the sustained disinflation, improved output growth, stable exchange rate, and robust external reserves. It particularly noted the increased momentum of disinflation in August 2025, being the highest in the past 5 months. Members also acknowledged the significant progress in the ongoing bank recapitalization exercise, as 14 banks have fully met the new capital requirement.
The Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprises, CPPE, has commended the Central Bank of Nigeria for its decision to ease credit conditions, describing the move as a welcome and timely intervention for the economy. This policy shift, announced during the Monetary Policy Committee meeting, is seen as a crucial step towards balancing the fight against inflation with the urgent need for economic growth. According to Dr. Muda Yusuf, the new policy is a step in the right direction, as it will help to reduce the cost of funds and stimulate economic activity. He also urges the CBN to consider further reductions in the CRR, which at 50% is one of the highest in the world, to inject more liquidity into the banking system and boost lending. And that's where we leave it on the News at 5 today. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay.